Well, it's that time of year where the roses are blooming and looking really good. But in order to keep them going, I need to deadhead them. So anything that's kind of spent, like this one, take it, and then I want to take it down to a leaf and cut it right just before a leaf. And that way it'll sprout from there and give us some more blossoms. So I've got some, here's one that's really gone. You can have blooms all summer. Look at that. Yeah, pruning is a never-ending process. I've pruned this jasmine really good once already this year, but well, actually there's two plants here. We started these about 3 years ago with the idea that we would make this arch, and it finally has come to do that. But just like with the deadheading the roses, you want to cut back just in front of where some leaves come off. Now this I did with shears, and so I didn't get all of it real good, so I'll make that one. That is not, that's something else that's coming up there. I wonder what that is. Well, this is our experiment we started, several weeks ago. And these are our potatoes that we're growing in a bag. And they seem to be pretty happy. They get shade in the morning, but in the afternoon they get sun. So what we're going to do now is just come in here and add some dirt around the edges. And we might, after I get a little dirt in there, I'll probably roll it up or unroll it about, a length or two.
That's going to make the potatoes more vigorous, huh?
Well, and yeah, and you don't want the potatoes to get any sunshine, so
yeah, that's true. They get green on them, and
they get green.
It make you sick or
and
poisoned.
Sometimes you'll get more potatoes on these upper branches too when you've put dirt in there. So we'll just continue doing this, adding dirt. I'm getting quite a bit of dirt in there, I'm surprised. And remember when you do this that you need to puncture the bottom part of this bag so that you have drainage. Because if you don't do that, you risk having your potatoes just rot. So notice I'm unrolling the bag a little bit. And another way I've seen people do this is with old tires. But I've never tried that. Well, this is the dry bed, and I just wanted to show you. We planted this syringa, which is the Idaho state flower, probably 2 years ago. And this year we're getting some blooms, and I'm pretty excited about that. It will need some pruning this year sometime, but I'm just not, this is not a good time to do it. I would like to wait until the leaves are off and then I can see what the structure is, but I'll start doing some pruning on it. We also have are choke cherries over here, and I'm going to be looking for some new starts. If you remember, I started one last year and kept it in the greenhouse. And I think this one over here has better starts. And it did so good, and I've planted it and so healthy that I thought I'd do a couple more this year.
Yeah, this is another one here, huh?
So, yeah. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, look at right here. See, this is what I'm looking for. There's a little tiny start right there. So I'll get a shovel and dig that up later and put it in a pot, and then it'll winter.
What, in the greenhouse then, huh?
In the greenhouse,
Got
yeah.
it.
So this dry bed, I'm pretty pleased with it, and I call it the dry bed, although we do have a soaker in it. It's doing pretty good. We've got some Greek oregano, yum, and some Russian sage, and of course iris. These are poppies that are annuals, and they just reseed themselves. So I've got lots of poppies coming. And here's the little choke cherry that I wintered over, and it is doing superb. Look at that.
That was one that was in the greenhouse, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, it's sure doing good now that you planted it out into the world.
Yeah, it's growing.
Yep.
It just mostly grew roots over the winter. Then over here, and we'll show this later on in the summer, this so far is calendulas. And they'll be orange and yellow. And they're also an annual that reseeds themselves.
Boy, that really did a seeding job, didn't it?
Yeah, and then we've got some sunflowers that seeded in here. And those will come up. This is I don't think I've shown this. This is an eastern redbud tree. And it's got quite a few. We'll probably start needing to prune it too, but I started that as a little twig. And so I'm quite pleased with the way it's, and it will make a nice tree to cover this area back here. A couple of years ago, I started some poppies by seed, these Chinese poppies, and this one hadn't bloomed until this year, and I just think the inside of that is just glorious. I was quite pleased to see it finally blooming.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next week on Gretchen's Garden and Greenhouse.
Bye.